Hey everybody, Christian West here. I'm glad that you tuned in to What Would You Do? Welcome to the series of videos where Joe and I ask each other critical questions from the executive protection industry. If you like what you see, click here, like and subscribe. And if you have questions that you want us to answer or try to find a solution to, send them to us via email, text. You can find us on social media. I'm sure you have ideas, or you can post them here and we'll play along and take your question. So, welcome to What Would You Do? Season 2.
And this one actually came to us from one of our viewers. So, Joe, what would you do if the client wants to do something crazy, like skydiving or shark diving or something like that?
Something super dangerous, something super risky.
Yeah.
Big thing is, one of the things we try to not do is ever say, no, right? Mm-hmm. I said, don't do that. Obviously, if they're asking to do that, the first thing that we want to make sure is that they understand the risks, right? We want to make sure that they understand the actual risks in play. I'm not saying you automatically inform them of the risks. What I'm saying is you want to make sure they are aware of the risks. But what I'm trying to say there is, if a client does that all the time or something like that, we don't need to go to them and say, hey, this can have an negative. Yeah. They know. We're not going to waste their time with that. But so we want to just ensure that they understand the risks of whatever they're doing. So if it's something new to them, if their buddy told them, hey, when you go to the Bahamas, go shark diving, and they're like, okay, let's do it. Well, then maybe we want to have that conversation of, okay, well, these are the risks in doing that. So that's the first thing. Second thing would be, you have to manage expectations.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you're protecting somebody, but they're doing something dangerous, all you can, and it's their choice. All you can do is what you can do. I mean, I say this a lot when I'm teaching guys this kind of on this topic in general, is all you can do is what you can do. You can't make something like that super safe, but you can make it as safe as possible.
Yep.
It's actually a funny conversation I had with my daughters recently. I said, you're going to do stupid things, but do stupid things smartly. And what I was trying to explain was this kind of thing was like, if you're going to do something stupid, don't make it exactly. Make it the smartest stupid thing that you've ever done.
Yeah,
I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah.
It totally makes sense, but it's also, again, a question about the bigger management of the team, right? Because in the old days, we kind of had this thing where people would say, the principal is an avid skier. We need EP agents that can ski with them, right? Okay, that's one way of doing it. But if you have somebody who goes out and, let's say, go into a cage dive, well, does the EP agent, what do they do, right? If they know it's going to happen, you prepare one way in your advance work. Right. If it's spontaneous, there's not much you can do, right? But if you are the EP agent, then there are kind of like risky things going on. It's pretty important in the advance that you, of course, talk to the crew. Is there a guide that they go do it with? And what is our responses, right? Because do we need to be in the cave with them? Probably not. It's not like some other shark is going to come and attack before the other shark, right? But being on the boat kind of gives you a different responsibility for being the guy to coordinate a potential rescue or the accident or whatever, right? So it's just important that we not only think it through, but also like prepare our gear and prepare whatever we bring.
Yeah. That's why you mentioned the skiing thing. So like that's what the first thought in our head is like, oh, we got to go skiing with the client. Well, not necessarily. Because we definitely don't want to do is cause more issues because we're not good at doing it. They're not good at doing it. So in that case, we actually had a client do that. We just gave one of the ski instructors a radio and said, hey, we're going to be at the bottom.
Yep, exactly.
Call so that anything happens.
Exactly.
So it makes
absolutely. Yeah, good stuff.